Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about the slow hiring season in December and the peak hiring season in January and February, and what you can do to prepare yourself for the upcoming peak hiring season. Before we jump into that, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to learning what you can do to really set yourself up for success. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life work balance advice delivered directly to you every week. So currently, as I'm recording this video, it is December 2023. And December is one of the slowest months for hiring. There's many reasons for this, but primarily it has to do with the holidays and maybe even end of year fiscal budgets. Just because it's the slowest month for hiring doesn't mean you can't get hired in December. You 100% can still get hired during the month of December, and that may be because people are trying to fill positions for programs or projects that start at the beginning of the year, or maybe they have budget that they need to allocate for the current year that you're in. So just know that if it's December for you, one of the slowest months for hiring, that doesn't mean that you can't get hired. But really, the best time of the year to get hired is the beginning of the year, so January and February, and the fall. So if you're in one of these slow seasons where hiring has somewhat decreased, you can start to gear up and prepare yourself for these peak hiring seasons. So what are some of the things that you can do to prepare yourself for these peak hiring seasons? Well, the first thing you can do is to ensure that you're going to be focused with your job search. So know the types of jobs that you plan on applying to, as well as your target companies. So make a list of the various job titles or occupation titles that you're going to be searching for, and also make a list of your target companies. So these aren't just companies that you would submit an application to, but these are companies that you're really excited or enthusiastic about working for. Ideally, you'll come up with a list of about 10 to 15 or more target companies to start browsing their job boards for potential job openings come the new year. Once you've made a list of all of those target companies, then it's time to do your research on those companies. This is more than just looking at their website. This is deep research into what these companies do and what they're involved or invested in during their year. Read articles about these organizations. Listen to podcasts that their teams, whether it's executives or other employees, are featured on. Understand what their initiatives might be for the upcoming year, what their goals are, and even what their challenges might be in the next 6 to 12 months. They may even have public calls that you can listen to, where you can start to pick up on some of these goals, initiatives, and challenges. Then you can identify where you can provide relevant value to them. Once you understand the companies that you want to work for, so those target companies, and you understand the value that you can bring to them, that will really set you apart from other candidates when the applications become available. You will ideally be able to demonstrate in that written format, whether it's through application questions, your resume, or a cover letter, how you will be different from other candidates by being able to provide value to either align with these goals and initiatives or help them overcome these potential challenges. So once you've got the list of companies that you'd like to work for listed down, it's time to identify potential contacts within those companies to start to build your network and possibly even identify someone who could refer you to a job. So how do you go about doing this? Well, there's a variety of ways to do it, but LinkedIn is one of the easiest places to start. So search for the company on LinkedIn. Then you can even narrow that search further by searching for people who are doing the job that you want to do or who are involved in the type of work that you want to do. You might even identify people by listening to podcasts or reading articles associated with this company or industry. Connect with them. Ideally, you can find between 10 to 15 people that you can connect with at each of these target companies. So let's just say hypothetically that you find 10 people at 15 different companies that you want to connect with. That's 150 different connections, which is a lot of work and somewhat of an overwhelming number. So starting early in these slow months like December is a great way to really boost your productivity and your chances for getting that job come the high or peak hiring months like January or February. Now, LinkedIn is a great resource, but you can also possibly find some of these people's contact information or their emails by Googling them or using other resources like reverse email lookup tools. If you just Google reverse email lookup tools, there are many that become available. Now, you don't just want to send an email or a LinkedIn connection request and go right away with an ask for them to help you get a job. You want to connect with them in a more meaningful, deeper level. So you'll want to engage with their content if they're on LinkedIn, and then connect with them and say, I've really appreciated your insights on X, Y, and Z, or I'm looking at getting a job with this company in the near future, and I was wondering if we might be able to talk about your experience working for them. So there are different ways that you can connect with, whether it's literally a connection request on LinkedIn or an email to someone who might be a potential contact with this organization. You do not want to go straight for the ask. You want to spend some time building and cultivating those relationships, which is why starting early during these slower hiring seasons will help you when it becomes peak hiring season. So while you might be able to start sending these emails in December, because it's currently December while I'm recording this video, if you send emails in December or one of the slower seasons, like the summertime, you might find that the people you're reaching out to are out of the office. And then your email or your connection request gets buried under all of the other things that came through while they were out of town or out of the office. So you may want to just draft all of these emails and then schedule them to be sent in January, when it's likely that people are returning from vacation, returning from holiday, and are starting to get back into their regular work schedule. So once those peak hiring seasons hit, like January and February, one of the highest times of the year for new jobs to be filled, it's likely that these organizations have some additional budget or new initiatives or goals that they're hoping to achieve. And so the chances of there being more jobs available for you to apply to are higher. So ideally, you use this time during the slower seasons to prepare yourself for that peak hiring season, the peak months where hiring is at its highest. By doing the work now, during the slow season, you will be ahead of the curve compared to other candidates once those peak seasons or peak months hit. If you are in the process of interviewing, or you would like help with your resume, cover letters, or even your LinkedIn profile, please go ahead and consider reaching out to me today. With it being a slow hiring season, now is the perfect time to invest some time and energy in developing or revamping your resume, your cover letter, and even your LinkedIn profile. And it's never too early to start the interview preparation process. So if you are either in the process of starting your new job search, or even further in the hiring process where you're actually interviewing, consider reaching out to me today and I can help you with an interview strategy session or an application materials review session. I've linked to my information in the description box below. You can reach out to me directly via email, or you can schedule a session with me directly from my website. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas on peak versus slow hiring seasons or months, please go ahead and drop it in the comments box below. I love receiving comments, and while I will do my best to get back to you individually, I may not be able to respond to every comment that comes through. But just know that your comments will likely help someone in the future who's going through something similar. So if you have any additional questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, throw them in the comments box below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every week. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.